All right, we've all seen it. The AI boom has been an absolute monster, right? A total tidal wave of investment and hype. And, when we think about AI, our minds usually jump to a few giant companies, the ones building the literal infrastructure for this new world. But is that really the whole story?
That is the trillion-dollar question, isn't it? And it's coming straight from Microsoft's CEO, Satya Nadella. What he's saying here is absolutely critical. For this whole thing to be sustainable, for it not to be just another bubble, the value can't just be about capital expenses. The benefits have to spread out. So the question is, how does that actually happen? How does this revolution move beyond just a couple of massive companies?
To get to the bottom of that, we have to look past the usual suspects, beyond those AI titans. We need to start the search for what comes next.
So let's make this our guiding question. If the first chapter of the AI story was all about the giants, what does chapter 2 look like? And more importantly, where is the real long-term value that maybe, just maybe, most people are overlooking? To find those hidden gems, we're going to use a pretty cool concept called the opportunity radar. Think of it as a universal principle for spotting growth in any market. And honestly, it's the perfect tool for what we're trying to figure out today. So the whole idea here revolves around something academics call hidden economic niches. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It just means that some of the absolute best places to find growth are sectors that are flying under the radar of the big money players. Why? Well, maybe they don't fit the big, sexy story of the day, or maybe the information's just a little harder to get. The bottom line is, they're basically hiding in plain sight. And listen, this isn't just some abstract theory. The numbers make it crystal clear. Take a look. These so-called hidden niches, like AI service platforms or digital creative industries, they're growing at an incredible 14 to 22% every year. Now compare that to the overall global economy, which is chugging along at maybe 3%. It's not even in the same league. We're talking about explosive growth here. Okay, so we have this powerful lens, this opportunity radar for finding hidden growth. What happens when we take that lens and point it squarely at the biggest game in town right now? Artificial intelligence. What does it show us?
Well, what it reveals is something huge. It shows a fundamental shift happening in the AI market. We're moving from what we can call the build-out phase into the adoption phase.
Let me break that down for you because it's really important. The build-out phase, that's what we've been living through. It was all about building the foundation, the data centers, the chips, all of it. And the big winners, well, they were the companies selling the pickaxes and shovels in this massive AI gold rush. But now we're entering the adoption phase. The focus is shifting to the companies that are actually using those tools to find the gold. We're talking about generating a real, tangible, measurable return on investment, the ROI. And you can see this shift happening right here on this chart. It's dramatic. Go back to 2017 and you could hardly find any company talking about real, actual economic gains from AI. It was basically zero. Fast forward to today and that number has exploded to over 675 firms. The miners are officially striking gold. You see, the whole conversation around AI is growing up. It's moving past, wow, look what AI is, and it's becoming all about, look what AI is doing for our bottom line. We're moving from just pilots and experiments to companies reporting specific, measurable financial benefits. They're saving money, they're growing revenue, and they can prove it. And here's the real kicker. Get this. This isn't just talk. The market is paying attention and rewarding these companies. Firms that can actually demonstrate a tangible, AI-driven return are seeing their stocks outperform the market by an average of 5.2% per year. That's a huge deal. The proof is really in the performance. Okay, so if phase 2 is all about adoption and real ROI, who are these new players? Who's actually benefiting from this shift? Let's try to map them out. We can really break the whole market down into 3 main groups. You've got your infrastructure builders, the ones we all know. Then you've got the laggards, which is still like 80% of companies just sitting on the sidelines. But that group right in the middle, the early adopters, that's where phase 2 is really happening. So let's start with the builders. Even in that pickaxe and shovel category, the story is way deeper than just 1 or 2 names. You've got AMD going head-to-head for GPU market share. You've got Broadcom making essential custom chips for giants like Apple and Google. Marvell provides the crucial fabric that ties all the data centers together. And Micron makes the super fast memory that every single GPU relies on. See, it's a whole ecosystem.
And then you have completely new sub-industries just popping up. AI data centers don't just need a ton of chips, they need an entirely new level of networking, insanely high speed, to link all those GPUs together. That's where a company like Arista Networks comes in. They're a leader in this space, and get this, their AI-related revenue is projected to jump by a massive 83% in a single year. That's not a typo.
And for me, this is where it gets really, really cool. You're seeing these smaller, more agile companies, the actual miners, using AI to totally dominate specific markets. AudioEye is using AI to make websites accessible for people with disabilities. Red Violet uses it to fight financial crime. White Fiber is building specialized data centers specifically for AI. These are the companies on the front lines proving AI's value far away from the big headlines. So, after all that, what is the big takeaway here? What does it all mean? It means we need a new framework, a new way of thinking about the AI revolution as it moves into this critical second phase. Here it is, a new lens for AI, and it really comes down to 3 simple steps. First, look beyond the headlines. The biggest opportunities might not be the names everyone is talking about. Second, follow the tangible ROI. Shift your focus from potential to proof. Who is actually making or saving money with AI right now? And third, map out the entire ecosystem. Really understand the different roles played by the builders, the specialists, and of course, the adopters. And that leaves us with this final, massive question. The first wave of AI, that build-out phase, it created absolute titans. So as we now enter the second wave, the adoption phase, the big question really is, who will it create?